Hey everybody, welcome back, and this is Banjo Kazooie for the Xbox 360. I mean Nintendo 64. No, I mean Xbox. Because, like, Xbox is the coolest thing ever, right?
Not if you ask Yahoo.
Not if you ask who?
Yahoo.
Oh, well.
Really, I'm telling you, go to Yahoo News any day of the week. It'll be just an article like, why PlayStation 4 is the best, and why Xbox is doomed. Doomed!
And see, that's why I go to IGN, where they're like, well, this is why all three of them are failing. It's actually kind of depressing to see some of the numbers that came out of this last holiday season. And unfortunately, it is kind of everybody's fault. Because not a lot of games came out.
So, into Treasure Trove Cove we go!
Yeah, so last time we took on Mumbo's Mountain, now we're taking on Treasure Trove Cove.
Ahoy there! This be Treasure Trove Cove. There'll be 2 new loops for you to find. And watch what happens when you go into the water.
And one of the things that we may need to try and recreate is, first of all, yeah, our discussion on the Jaws music. I love this concept, it's awesome.
Ow, damn it. That Snacker, everybody, is a mean son of a gun. Yes, he'll appear every time you get into the water.
And you were telling us in the last video, like, it's freaking scary to get his music. I actually find it, like, hilarious. But...
Well, yeah, now, because we're adults, but when you're a kid and you play this for the first time, you're like, oh my god! It's a shark!
Yeah. And I could get that response. I mean, this is kind of freaky if you think about it, but at the same time, for me, it's hilarious, because I'm like, oh, I wonder what that's trying to rip off.
Well, of course, it's... cheese and crackers.
Yes!
Finally.
We got him! And now we gotta get away from Jaws!
You can't actually shoot eggs at him. I missed, but yeah. It's just
I'm sorry, but the timing of that just made it look like you were so scared. You crapped your pants. All right, and then the other discussion that we'll probably bring up here and there is, for some reason, Treasure Trove Cove for us brought up a lot of cereal discussion.
Yes,
we'll
it did.
probably get back into that. It's probably because of the honeycomb stuff.
Yeah.
Because we kept on bringing up the honeycomb hut and all that.
Honeycomb cereal.
So that actually might be one thing that we want to cover right here and now, because we actually did ask it. Favorite breakfast cereal, go.
Me, I'm a red feather. I help Kazooie fly when she knows how. Okay, favorite cereal, probably Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, okay.
Yeah.
My favorite cereal, unfortunately, does not exist anymore. It is the Rice Krispies Treat cereal that was, like, just 100% sugar. I love that cereal. And here's the best part. I didn't even get into this with you. See, my mom was wise enough not to buy that anymore because I was, like, literally bouncing off the walls. My grandma, however...
Uh-huh.
She'd buy it all the time. She bought, like, the big supersized family boxes. So Saturday morning cartoons at my grandma's house were awesome.
Already teaching jokes.
And yes, we missed a lot of that dialogue, but I believe it's just teaching Kazooie how to fly, right?
Yep. Ahoy there, I'm Captain Blubber, and I lost me treasure.
I love when he talks and he's burping.
Well, go find it then, Blubberguts. Oh, but I can't swim. Can you help an old sea hippo?
Sure, we'll find it for you.
So he's sad because he lost his treasure.
I'm sorry, but A.D.D moment really quick. The first thing I thought of when I saw that Captain Hippo is, do you remember the hippos from Animaniacs?
Yeah.
The really rich ones? That's the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that. I was like, holy crap, it's the rich hippos! And they weren't even featured on Animaniacs that much, were they?
I don't remember.
They got maybe like 1 or 2 cartoons. They were about as rare as Pinky and the Brain.
Well, Pinky and the Brain got their own series.
Yeah, Pinky and the Brain got their own series, but if you remember on Animaniacs, they did not get featured that much at all. And then they got their own series out of it. That's the irony of that. You know, because like, for an average Animaniacs episode, it was nothing but the Warners, and then you would occasionally get the... I can't remember the Singing Cat, her musical episodes, and then the Goodfeathers a lot. But Pinky and the Brain, rare. I still remember the first episode we ever saw in my family, and that was the mind control episode where he's a country star. Which is hilarious. Except to me, because I was the only one since I was like really young. I did not get the Dolly Parton joke.
Right.
I got it later, but
That's how a lot of the humor was in that show.
oh yeah.
It was so catered to adults, surprisingly.
Dude, I didn't even think some of those jokes were that bad until I watched the Nostalgia Critics top 11
Jokes
that we never got.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot they did that Madonna joke. Oh man, how'd they get away with that? Or even worse, like most of the jokes that came from the teacher.
Yeah.
Yakko, can you conjugate? I've never even kissed a girl. Here, I'll conjugate with you. Good night, everybody.
That'd be half me good. Basically, it was South Park with a lot less language.
No, in a lot of cases it was like... Because South Park is kind of beaten South Park now. It's gotten really, really gross, but...
Yeah.
If anything, the best comparison at that point, it was The Simpsons at 4 o'clock. Because at that point, The Simpsons had to be aired at like 6.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was still a major cash grab for Fox at the time. I don't think that's the same case now. I think Family Guy earns more money than Simpsons does.
Probably.
So much so that Family Guy is celebrating 15 years. And can't keep a character dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, boys and girls? I am going to get on Seth MacFarlane a little bit, because at least Matt Groening kept Mr. Burns injured for quite a while. I mean, there was actually talk that Mr. Burns was going to die.
And at least Maud Flanders hasn't come back.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that! Ned Flanders' wife died!
Well, now he's probably died twice now, because he married Edna Krabappel at some point, and now Marsha Wallace just died.
Really? Because I didn't even know that. I didn't even know he married Mrs. Krabappel. Wow. Oh, poor Ned. You have 2 deaths now on his conscience.
Jeez.
And here's the thing, too. Okay, I know that Ned's wife has come back in Treehouse of Horrors, but that's a whole other continuity, guys.
Yeah.
That is a whole other deal. And here's the thing. I think the time when I actually did see Maud Flanders come back, she was a zombie. So,
makes sense.
At that point, the Treehouse of Horror established she was already dead in continuity. It's not like South Park where Kenny dies every episode.
Yeah.
Actually, they've actually moved past that now, because he doesn't die that often anymore. In fact, Kenny is not featured that much.
There's only so long you can carry out that joke.
Oh, dude, but see, here's the thing. Later on, they did so much better with that joke. Like, I still love the whole Pink Eye Halloween episode, where Pink Eye makes you a zombie, apparently. Oh, and apparently we're fighting a Toho monster. I don't know how to explain it aside from that.
It's a mini-boss.
He is apparently very happy that you're kicking the crap out of him. I have no idea what's going on here. Okay.
Take that, big mouth bird. Ow. Stop sniffing already.
Do we need to call in Godzilla?
There we go.
Knockout Nipper.
Achievement unlocked.
Oh, and you can go into the shell. That's interesting.
Yep.
Whole nother area in Treasure Trove Cove.
There's a whole other area, too. That you'll see in a
And
while.
you said this was like a mini-boss, basically.
Kind of, yeah. It was kind of a mini-boss.
Oh, looks like the crab had babies. And we better be careful. We only have 1 HP left. Okay, now we're okay. Oh, there we go. Here's another Jiggy. And I'm assuming that Jiggy count is the Jiggy count for Treasure Trove Cove.
Yes.
Overall. Because I was like, I know we earned like 5 or 6 Jiggies last time. So I'm like, that number's not right. But yeah, it's hard to compare Simpsons to Family Guy and South Park, because Family Guy and South... Like, here's the thing. The Simpsons was Family Guy back in its time. It was risque. But now it just feels like Family Guy and South Park are so far past that. I mean, they're literally trying to cross a line every week.
Yeah.
And Simpsons never Simpsons knew when to cross the line and when not to. Like, they actually can have some humor without crossing the line.
Pretty much.
It's actually kind of funny. They'd have episodes where they crossed the line, and then they'd have episodes where they made fun of Fox all the time.
Yeah.
It looks like we are flying now, and Bottles is telling us stuff we already know, actually.
Of course. We all know this stuff. Let's see. There is
I don't. I've never played these games, but
yeah.
I mean, flying is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. So basically, you have a max of 50 red feathers to start with. Oh, I might as well go learn this move. But let me get the Inkum Bulkum first.
Yeah, Ika Boka. Ika Boka.
Whatever.
I'm actually kind of disappointed in us. Like, when we were playing Treasure Trove Cove the last time, we were just knee-deep in serial discussion about what was good and what wasn't, and we just haven't started that up. Oh, and here's the other ability, right?
Yes.
Does Kazooie do it? My legs are tired. Lazy bear. Oh, okay, so this is basically like a bouncy jump for Kazooie.
Mm-hmm.
Your energy is a little low. I'll fill it up for you. Actually, you know what? He's a geek. He should really be a geek voice. You've learned all your Cove's new moves. Nah, never mind. The geek voice doesn't really work for him, does it?
No.
Wow, there's an Animaniacs joke to be made there. Boingy, boingy. Okay, so is it just that you have to be standing on that to get the jump process to work?
Yes.
So I'm seeing you jump off the platform.
Well, you can jump off the platform as long as you're in that animation.
Okay. So it's all just dependent on whether or not you're in the animation.
Yes.
No!
Well, I don't know why it took them till game 2 to put in a wall grab.
Probably because they were still trying to figure out what 3D platforming. Just because Mario set the standard does not mean that it set every standard. Because I still remember hearing discussions that Miyamoto did not want to put since you already had a wall bounce, you didn't want to put in like a grab the ledge.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he got influenced to just do it. Because Mario 64 really was kind of a hold your hand game. If you want the hardcore version of it, I think that's the DS version.
Or Kaizo Mario 64.
Or Kaizo, yeah. That's so Kaizo. Yeah, that joke's never gonna get old. But no, I'm not gonna go off on the whole Kaizo guy who was like sitting there talking about, or what was it? The guy who was talking constantly about his philosophy.
He was talking about
or whatever.
He was talking about a weird dream he had or something.
Oh, that's right. And let's go into the weird dream that I had. And then he was all. It wasn't that he was just going through the dream. He was psychoanalyzing the dream on mic. And it's like, this is the most boring thing I've ever heard.
I'll come back for that, Jinjo. I want to do the X's.
I still hear Joey Wheeler in my head every time you say Jinjo. And here I summon the magical Jinzo! With my Brooklyn Rage! Oh, I get it. X marks the spot. That tells you where to go.
Yep. It's a treasure hunt. Get it?
So instead of go 40 paces to the west, it's just basically saying, go find the next X. I gotta say, for a little bird, this bird's pretty freaking strong and he's carrying a bear.
Yes.
Oh, and who's our little burger buddy down there?
That's a bucket.
It's a bucket?
Yes.
It looks like a burger. Okay. Rare. And I know that a lot of people are eventually going to come out and go, since I haven't played that many rare games, I'm going to get a lot of, you're anti-rare. No, I'm not. It's just, I haven't played a lot of rare games. Look, I'm not a fan of GoldenEye. I'm not a fan of Jet Force might have been one I would get into, but I didn't play Banjo simply out of coincidence. So, you know, people flame shield up. It's not that I hate Banjo, it's just that I never got around to it. Besides, it's a lot more enjoyable just to have Alex or even my wife sit back and play Banjo because they're fans, and so you can enjoy you can revel in their fandom.
Yep. I love this game. I loves me some Banjo.
But you don't love yourself some nuts and bolts.
No, that was just stupid.
Did you play it? I don't think my wife ever did, but
She played it.
she played it.
Yeah, that's how I know about it because I watched her play
Were
it.
you guys just like downright offended by the game?
I don't know how she felt, but it pissed me off.
I do know like later she picked up a Let's Play of it, but it's just funny to me because this is like the only reason you guys bought an Xbox was because of nuts and bolts, and you guys were disappointed.
Well, that's because they've been teasing they teased a Banjo 3E and Banjo 2E.
Yeah.
And that kind of got stuck in like development hell for 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the thing that I find agreeing a lot with was I don't know if you've seen JonTron's video on Nuts and Bolts, but I kind of agree with him in the fact that it looks like a lot of the assets from 3E that were going to go over to the GameCube just got brought over to Xbox.
Oh yeah, that was the case.
So
then they suddenly decided, hey, let's make this a Lego game.
yeah, that made absolutely no sense because, you know, here's the thing: I'm not a Banjo fan, but even I looked at that and went, customization? That doesn't seem like a thing that's in this game. Oh, do we need a? Is this Mr. Bucket?
Yep. His name is
Put
Leaky.
the balls in my mouth, Mr. Bucket. Out of my mouth, a will pop. Wow, we went from serial discussion to really creepy board games for kids. Speaking of, did you ever see the board James of Mr. Bucket?
No.
Have you seen any of the board James?
I think I saw one board
James roll? Oh, dude, you need to see Mr. Bucket. He made like a whole horror story out of
Hey,
it.
Furball, you're looking wise. Solve my puzzle and win a prize. Pretty easy, but
Oh. This looks familiar, though.
you've probably seen this before.
Is this like where you put in cheat codes?
Yes, actually, this is where you put in the cheat codes.
Okay. Because I think I saw my wife do that a couple of times. Which I gave her a lot of crap. You cheater.
In fact, this was the only way to activate the stop and swap in the N64.
And then that whole feature just got taken away by Nintendo. Great job.
Where's the K?
There it is. And then we already have an A. Oh, there's the second one.
Rip those off.
Now we need a Z. Oh, there's a Z at the other end. With an O right there. Okay, we need one more O. And there's the I right next to it. We're spelling Banjo Kazooie.
How original! The first down. Down.
Oh, this is like another mini boss.
Not really. It's just like any other crab. Oop.
And another Jiggy.
Actually, there's a number of weird cheats you can activate in here. In fact, I'm gonna bring this up now, but randomly, it's completely by chance. It may not even happen in this LP, but like Mumbo can actually turn you into a washing machine.
Really?
Yes, but there's also a cheat to activate that, so you can always be a washing machine.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's kind of random that you get turned into a washing machine. Is there actually a level that requires it?
No,
Of course not.
it's just one of those weird Easter eggs they put in.
So it's basically Mumbo screwing up.
Yes. And again, that's completely by chance and by circumstance. You know, so no promises that it will happen in this LP.
Nice job, Rare. I like that idea.
Yeah, it's
Maybe-
great. It's funny when it happens that, you you wish it would happen, but it's just totally by chance.
Oh yeah, that sounds to me like it'd be hard to rig. So, yeah, that may or may not happen in the LP. If it does, then we'll applaud it and probably scream and do all the stuff that we usually do.
Yes, we'll scream and applaud.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's a washing machine!
All right, we got a new health bar.
Yay! Oh no.
Stay away from me, clam.
Keep your clams off me! I don't like your clamped. Do you want to be clamped? That's the first thing that came to my mind was Futurama right there. The Robot Mafia.
The Robot Mafia. Yes.
No, no, no!
Coffee and mints. I'll be right over. Coffee and
what's
mints.
his name again?
Snacker.
Snacker. Oh, wow.
And
If it had
coffee
been
and
Snaps, I would have actually said appropriate.
We got not one but two Inkum Bulkums. Yes, they're called Momo tokens, but we all love calling them Inkum Bulkums.
Alright, 80 notes so far, so we only have 20 left to find. This is great.
I believe there is a token or something.
Alex, your knowledge of this game is astounding.
Especially considering I haven't played it in a while, but...
Oh, and by the way, guys, again, we're going to re-emphasize this for the first couple of episodes. This is a completionist run because Alex says that he can do it.
I can do it. It's really not that difficult.
So we are going to do... People can get off our backs now. We are doing a completionist run of something.
Ah!
But in our defense, the only reason we don't do completionist a lot of the time is whether or not the ending actually permits it. Whether or not it's worth it to put forth the extra effort.
Mm-hmm.
And we've now collected Charmander. That Ginger...
Ginger.
Wow.
Well, I guess he is kind of ginger, isn't he?
Yeah, he is kind of. That Jinjo is just so like Charmander. I'm gonna get in trouble this episode, aren't I? I'm gonna be Cartman for like all these episodes.
Actually, what I like about this game over Tui is the enemies don't respawn.
Oh, they do in Tui?
Yes.
Probably just add on to the difficulty, because I'll bet you a lot of hardcore players looked at this and went, it's holding our hands too much. That's because it's a first entry. You want your fans to like it first before you make it all hardcore.
Let's see. How many on these? 5 out of 10. Yeah, I didn't think I had that many, but I'm thinking about where I need to go next.
So there's 10 Jiggies in Treasure Trove Cove alone?
10 Jiggies in every world.
Okay. Well, then we're actually making good time, aren't we?
I know there is one up here. Hey, there's a Jinjo.
Oh, how appropriate. There's a lighthouse here.
Whoa.
Oh, looks like we got a picture unlocked.
You've been awarded a gamer proof. Lucky you.
Maybe that's what we'll have to do with my Xbox Live avatar. Which I have none. And I think people can see on my Xbox Live ID, you can friend me. That's all well and good. Whether or not I respond to you. Alex can attest to this. I spent a lot of my time on PlayStation, so... Although that might change, I don't know. If I get an Xbox One, I'll probably be playing a lot of Killer Instinct. But that will be a while from now.
A long while.
Especially since I just saw the Fulgore announcement. Fulgore is my favorite Killer Instinct character. So I'm glad he's in the Season 1 of the game. That's the weirdest part of it. Is everything they've done up to this point, like new characters and all that, they're calling Season 1. And Season 2 has been approved. I'm like, this is so weird, taking TV words and putting it for games.
Yeah, really.
You'd think I'd gotten used to that because of Telltale, but no, not really. Oh, and there's one at the top of the lighthouse. That's appropriate. Man, dang it! You're right, the music's dang catchy!
It is.
Even after, like, our first part, I was, like, sitting there humming the banjo theme. Like, get out of my head!
Right, Kirk Hope is magnificent.
Don't get me wrong, that's a great thing for a game, Not for me, because then I'm singing it the rest of the week. Because my ADD will keep going, and then all of a sudden I'll be singing Banjo on the mic when I'm not supposed to be.